and can heal up in peace and harmony. Perfect. Let's close the door, because at least the yaks won't open the door to give themselves a more favorable position in terms of surrounding us, which you love. Tengu might be a bit of a pain in the butt. And in fact, they are indeed. Their evasion is so annoying. But we can, of course, just back up a bit. Switch out to Ye Old Ice Blast. Maybe even step into the Dispersal Trap just to reset some distances here. And that should do it. Come on, you Tengu son of a gun. Jeez Louise, not yet, hey? Wow, still? Getting some low rolls with these Ice Blasts, unfortunately, which sucks, because we've already used 8 of them in this fight alone. But hey, you find yourself in a collapsing hole, you only really have one choice, and that's to keep digging here. Oh me oh my. Just a wee bit rough. And immediately run into a slightly scary unique. Her javelins here. Decent evasion and decent AC. Basically the bane of our existence. We could go for an early Greater Servant though. Hope that we don't get that roll for hostile. In fact, I think that's what we do. Immediately get hostile, so I'm gonna read a teleport scroll. Get me out of there. Perfect. But hey, that's why we do such precautionary measures early on in the fight, so that if things do go poorly, we can recover. Also, excuse me, sir, you're not despawned yet? Please stop. Please don't. Oh, me oh my. Scary stuff, to say the very least. But onwards we go, and now the Balrog should be desummoned, right? There's no way it lasts that long. So, of course, in the general heuristic of games like this, they usually last just long enough to kill you. So let's not count our eggs yet, shall we? And once more, call in a friend. Perfect. Go get her, Tiger. Perfect. Oh, poison. Love to see it. That's exactly what we needed. Okay. It will take her out without too much trouble, much better than that fight might otherwise have gone. And look at that. A beautiful artifact ring that would stat death us. I guess not stat death, but essentially the same thing. Hitting 0 in any stat. Well, not quite the deterministically death sentence that it used to be back in the day. Still essentially the same thing. Ooh, a conjurer, I don't love to see. Let's get some more poison clouds, please, sir. Clouds? Sir? Who hired you, Green Death? Oh, never mind. Sorry, I shouldn't have been complaining. You're a great employee. Don't mind me. And, ooh, distant snort. I definitely would enjoy me a gauntlet here. So let's take a peek, shall we? And where are you? I guess bottom right, because it's the yellow on the map. Should have looked at the mini-map first. As long as there aren't any shops on the floor, it's not too confusing. And let's, in fact, just do a quick click there. It can take us on our way. Most of these ugly things aren't too bad. The cyan one was a bit scary just because we don't have any resistance to electricity, much to my chagrin here. But not the end of the world. And here we go. In a rare moment of clarity, I'm remembering, let's drop some stuff before we go in so that we have room for all yield treasure, shall we? Scimitar Flaming? Probably won't need. In fact, haven't fought a single Hydra with it. We're doing all right the way that we have been. So let's just put that down for now. Ring of Flight might come in handy down here, but probably not. I'd hate to throw it out and have it be useful, but... Okay, Silver Boomerangs can go for the time being. We have enough other throwables. And hey, Chloroform, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Nice to see you again. And thank you, Railbird, for always reminding me that, yes, Scrolls of Teleportation, not needed in Gauntlet and Abyss. Those are the two things that my brain never seems to remember. I'm even going to drop my enchantment scrolls for now. I might regret that if I grab like a golden dragon scales or something inside, but otherwise, should be happy with that. And other than that, we actually have some trash that I would be willing to leave behind for suitably brilliant replacements, so I'm good to go with what we have here. Another evocable, another scroll of fear, and just a standard ring. This looked like an artifact ring, right? Indeed it is. Okay, so artifact ring, that's a normal ring if I remember correctly based on the sprite there. Artifact and or replacement for the magic mapping scroll we just used. Interesting. What else? An unidentified wand, unidentified scroll, and a scroll of identified to go with it. Fascinating. Well, let's see here. Because no matter what, we take this first one on. I don't feel too bad about it. Catoplebis could be a pain, especially in the thin corridor here. That's a slight bit scary. One of the few transmutation-like effects that does affect our character. But we should be able to take you out, especially if we bring in a friend, maybe. 77 health. Don't have great odds of it not being a hostile friend. We cannot run away from this one. So that is maybe an important note to take. Beyond that, torpor snails, bit of a pain in the butt with the slow, but if we're only taking damage from one yak, that's not too bad. And in fact, we should be able to, because we just have to drag them all to one door, and then cross to the other side, and we'll get out to the nice single wide hallways, be able to take them on one by one. And then we can use our javelins to take out any torpor snails that are in the back slowing us. If we can be slowed, that might be something that doesn't actually affect us now that I think about it. Oh, and we could go full evocable route, take a phantom mirror as well, but then we don't get any artifact rings, which I kind of liked the idea of artifact rings, if I'm being honest. Let's see, this place had hellhounds, which aren't too bad as long as we can put on fire resistance, which we can. Hell beast. You're not the one with reach, you can just have trample and stuff. Cool. That's fine by me. We have lots of 1x1 corridors to fight in. So I actually feel pretty good about handling this end vault. This one not so much without resistant to corrosion actually. The Entropy Weaver and the Wolf Spider alone could probably take us out with some bad rolls. A negative room here. Negative energy room I should say, to be more transparent. Isn't too bad. Could probably take that. Because the issue is that this room kind of sucks. Like, easy to fight through, because it's draining stuff. We should be able to fight a couple Death Scarabs, though they have decent odds to avoid us. But by suck, I very much was talking about the pickups that we get out of it. So we'd be sacrificing a half-decent mid-game pickup in the box of summoning on the other side. That's pretty solid if you ask me. For an unidentified wand that could be good or bad, in exchange for an artifact ring and magic mapping, when we could go for an artifact ring here, and what would most likely be a useless spell book, but could end up spell casting. Definitely want to leave my options open. Don't feel horrible about this. If I can get in here and fight the gargoyle without facing the Catoplebis, that's good. Then I just need to kill the Catoplebis before getting petrified or locked away into a corner. Or we could just run. So let's hop in here. And I wanted to pop here, fight the gargoyle, and we don't actually have to fight the Catoplebis. We could just pick these up and go. That doesn't sound too bad for me. Death Scarab's slow when they get in a successful hit, which is bad. Definitely is, especially when they're pretty evasive as well. A bit rough to say the least. But I could always bring in some friends to take them on. But at the end of the day, I also don't know why I'm making the argument, because I think I am taking left path. I think I talked myself into it. So screw the Catoplebis. I'm not willing to fight you. You can live another day here. And I'm going to head this way. I want to take all my friends. Hello? No, come around please, sirs. Sirs and madams. Fine, I'll take on this one and be able to kill the torpor snail first at least, and then sneak out. Perfect. And we got the best of both worlds there. We didn't even have to rely on javelins to take out the torpor. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Oh me, oh my. I do wish I had slightly more evocations training, but we have too much stuff training right now. So we're going to have to rely on what we've got here. But fortunately, miasma breath, not that big of a deal. Same with the undead or the negative energy from these sons of guns. Not too bad either. So we should actually be totally fine here, right? Unless I'm missing something, which I probably am, but we'll notice when we start dying, I guess. Or it turns out we were actually not missing too much in the end. And in fact, this is exactly the type of ring I kind of was hoping for. Resistance to electricity, nice. Willpower, very nice. Some nice stats as well. I mean, int +6 will keep us from hitting 0 in intelligence, so I think that's actually pretty swell. I'll put that on, I guess not right away. Can always save that for after we fight the Minotaur. So let's pick up our spellbook here. Polar Vortex, which I haven't had the chance to try out yet. I do need to do another blaster caster right away here. Try out some of the new spells. Specifically, I really am excited for the next air elementalist I play, because I haven't had the chance to test out any of those new spells yet. And we got one scroll of identify. We could hope for a blinking scroll identification, or an invisibility potion is the other side of things. How can you kill that which has no life? Very carefully. Very, very carefully. It's the whole re-dead thing. Also, wait a second. You came out on your own volition, sir? Please. Also, has see invisible. Oh, that's not great. That makes you a much worse threat than you normally are. Oh, fun. So, Minotaur. Today's the day you decided to get revenge on my constant bullying you with invisibility, eh? Figures. Figures. Well, Scrolls of Summoning could help us out. Unfortunately, not a huge amount because of the piercing effect of javelins. Always a little bit scary. He has fire resistance, or they have fire resistance, I should say. +3 tower shield. I mean, I want that tower shield, don't get me wrong. Please, sir. Yes, sir, please. This is a Wendy's, indeed. So I'm thinking a mixture of summons, condenser vein, we can definitely rather toss out here. Try and get some extra damage in. I think I'd rather you use that axe on me than your javelins. So I actually probably want the Minotaur to come out to me here. I could shout. And then prep our battlefield in advance. On the other hand, I could start chugging some potions here. Degeneration would suck, don't get me wrong, but we should be able to fight through it. And at the end of the day, getting haste or something would be absolutely game changer here. So, let's drink one. Oh crap, the 3 stack was degeneration. I thought for sure it'd be the 6 stack or something. Okay, I'll take that. Brainless Ghoul, yeah, even more so now. So, well, fortunately, we picked up that ring. So if things go real south here, we can fake it till we make it with the help of some magical items. But still not fantastic. I mean, only losing 1 strength, not bad. Not bad at all. Especially since, yeah, both these other categories we can kind of make up for with our magical devices, as it were. But let's see, Potion of Attraction, interesting. Oh, but actually also good. I was just talking about how I didn't want to deal with a Minotaur at range. Indeed. Well, Potion of Mutation is not great. Oh, right, but we just degenerate. We don't... Right, we don't get mutated, so that's just bad. No use for those. Let's drop them right away. Crap, I forgot that those also exist. Again, good thing we have a magical ring. Otherwise, this would be horrible. As is, it's only slightly horrible. Ooh, and we do indeed have the Torment as well. That is a great call. As I continue to chug potions left and right, just hoping, praying for haste that we don't get. Let's instead... Oh, hey, sir, hello. Nice to meet you. Very close and personal greeting, of course. We could get one stab in, but we do have polymorph. I'm guessing it's pretty low odds of working, though. 1% chance. Honestly, I wouldn't mind a lot of those changes, but unfortunately not great odds. So instead, let's go with just make lots of friends strategy. I do want to step down so that our friend can join us. I'm also going to immediately use our Wand of Clouds, and negative energy clouds is fantastic, considering the fact that our buddy here has tons of resistances, and I might have overthought this fight. Oh, unless things start turning sour now. Don't do it to me, game. But no, that's exactly how we'd prefer things to go, of course. Overthinking, leagues and scores above underthinking in my books. So I will happily do so. And let's take in all the rewards. Okay, so I don't want to say I called it, but I called it. Holy crap. Not where I expected it to be in my little hypothetical situation, but hey, not bad. I'm going to drop this chainmail. Absolute trash now. Drop our old boots for boots of flight. That's actually very nice. So, Tor, when I blind quaff, you typically do it when standing in front of the Minotaur, just a tip. Seems a little scary to me, but hey, I definitely find myself dying in stupid ways much more often than the average person, so maybe I should start listening to the suggestions from the audience. But okie dokie. All things considered, absolutely spectacular haul of loot here. Ring of Ice, don't need to take with me. I'm trying to think, we picked up, I guess, this? Oh right, off the Minotaur's corpse. I mean, better than our just standard Ring of Strength, even though not technically, because resistant to poison, nothing for us. But it looks cooler, and that therefore it is in fact better. Much more better. And I think I'm just going to put on these gold dragon scales right away. And in fact, we already have a bit of a yellow outfit theme going, so works out just great. And last but not least, we could start training up for this tower shield right away. We haven't even hit the skill penalty level for our current shield, but I think I will do so. And of course the unarmed combat manual, I didn't mention picking it up, but that is absolutely spectacular for us as well. Very happy to see that. Brings it down to slightly better than our armor score of 6 with the -1, which is a nice little bit of kind of reference there. Super sweet. That should level up fairly quickly, all things considered, especially if we focus it down at any point. Holy moly. I am very happy that we came into this gauntlet, to say the very least here. It's a full holy moly me oh my moment. But let's head back to our stairs. Oh wait, no. Silly me. Let's actually head here first. Let's pick up some of our important items before I totally forget. Enchant weapon scrolls can suck it for now. Those can stay behind. But we will immediately do a control or shift numpad 0. We want to repeat 4 times, and I'd like to repeat R, R, T. Please and thank you, game. Perfect. Very happy to immediately start leveling up this gold dragon scales as soon as possible. That brings us up to a nice 23 AC. We're getting there, we're getting there. Ring of Flight, I can actually just throw on the ground now, since we have boots that do that for us. What else? What else? It's probably good for the time being in terms of inventory management. We did grab one more scroll of Identify. Let's start identifying more scrolls. I don't think we've identified our scrolls of blinking yet, which kind of sucks. But hey, maybe this time we won't die with 2 in our inventory. Can't die with 2 if we don't have to. Suck on that, DSS. And otherwise, let's just keep it going here. Try and survive past the curse that our newfound luck may have placed upon us. As I continue to identify scrolls, I definitely expected that one to be blinking. I guess we still have how many unidentified? Oops. Oh gosh. Accidentally reversing things here. There we go. I didn't actually know that was a thing. Speaking of earlier this run, I was speaking of, that is, not knowing some of the minute controls here. Turns out, if you want everything on, you hit the equals key? No? Oh no, each category is a different select all. I'm just an idiot. Good to know. Good to know. Thanks, game, for reminding me of that. Well, anyway, we can turn off Rings of Flight. Turns off magical regeneration. I should have actually known that. It's right there. How have I never used this before? Especially every time when I start a run, I manually click all of these evocables. Like a fool. It's embarrassing. But that is all good, of course. Learning something is always a good thing, not a negative thing. Just means that I'm less of a fool than I was 2 minutes ago, which you love to see. Switch over to our Seen Visible, so that not only do we have a better chance of hitting that son of a gun, but they also don't deal their extra damage. Because that's a pretty cool mechanic, in my mind, is that those phantom ghosts, when they go invisible, they actually deal more damage as well. And it's not even going invisible specifically, it's when you are unable to see them, which is I found to be a cool distinction. Hello, friend. Let's poison you up nice and good before you get up to us, and love to see it. Things are looking up, almost too much so. I'm scared for what's to come. And in fact, maybe I should have switched over to my resistance to electricity ring to fight an electric monster. Might have been a good idea. In fact, I might just do so on a semi-permanent basis now, just because I do see us running into more electrical monsters without me even thinking for a moment of switching on to the ring. So, as I like to do, let's protect against my own stupidity and prevent future disasters, shall we? We can also, we set up a macro on our last run for quickly switching between certain rings. So here, I actually want to adjust this ring to X, I believe, and adjust our Seen Visible ring to capital Z. And that way, when I hit the 0 key, never mind, let's swap those. I was close, almost getting there. Items, swap Z for X. Perfect. And now I have my macro key set up. Oops. As I control S instead of control D. Luckily just saved the run, didn't quit it or anything like that. But it's just showing that we have this macro set up with put on X, exchange for Z, and that allows us to do the quick switch between those two sons of guns. Which does make my life just slightly easier in the long run. At least for quickly switching when I know that we may be facing off against more of those gosh darn invisible creatures as we make our way through the standard dungeon here. Ooh, and a wave of frost. Ice caves in general, very scary. Fortunately, with a little bit of extra resistance to cold under our belt, not quite as bad. The thing I'm laughing at myself for is just the fact that I should not have used magic mapping. It's right there. Quick question, how do you get that inventory section up on the bottom right of the screen? You actually have to be playing in the offline version of the game. This is the downloaded installed version rather than playing on web tiles. So yeah, unfortunately, if you are a big fan of web tiles, no dice. But if you instead don't mind too much switching off between the two versions, or you don't have too much of a, what's the word I'm looking for, investment in your online scorekeeping, then you are able to switch over to this. But otherwise, as far as I know, there's no way to bring that inventory over to the main branch on web tiles. It is one of the main reasons why I actually play on this version of the game so that lovely viewers like yourself are able to see the inventory at any time without me constantly bringing it up instead. Especially since I'm almost always missing something back there. And it's nice to give everyone else the opportunity to laugh at me on their side of the screen as they notice my full stack of, you know, blink scrolls or what have you that I'm completely forgetting to take advantage of or whatnot. Nice little bit of one-sided irony, which is the best kind of storytelling device. Or not the best kind, but one of my favorite types of storytelling devices, that is. There's a more concise name for it than one-sided irony that it's not coming to mind right now. But it's when you know something that the characters don't in a more storytelling capacity. Or that's how it works in the storytelling capacity, I guess is how I should say. And of course, Ozzy, no problem whatsoever. Happy to help out in any little way we can. There are so many things to learn in the game, as I just proved to myself a moment ago as I learned something that I had no idea existed. And in my case, it was a very obvious hotkey that was right there on the screen and everything. But as I always am fond of saying, it was not the first time, and it will not be the last I make such mistakes. Oh, whoops, we snuck right into the back here. Okay, so this is the end vault. Fun stuff. Do you fly, Draconian? You probably do, right? You don't. Huh. Okay. That's cool. You're 1 week in with the game and you're hooked? I love to hear it. Always fantastic to get new players joining in with the ever ongoing quest to remove Orbs of Zot from various dungeons around the world. Because that's how this works, right? Each dungeon seed is a completely new dungeon. Zot just has them all over, orbs just littering the place, the whole countryside, as it were. But yes, no, very happy in general always to see new players. It's such a fun game, and it's held such a solid and sweet place in my heart over all the years that I very much enjoy hearing new people coming on to share in the fantastic game here. Also, let's make sure to poison the right buddy here, as I want to slowly but surely just apply stacks onto this son of a gun. One of the nice ways to take out Draconians, of course, as long as they aren't green, is to use poison here. In fact, there we go. Now I can just use the quick throw key in P here, take them down. Yeah, Ozzy, I hope you're enjoying your first week on the job in DCSS. Can definitely be either super rewarding, or it can always be slightly frustrating for the first little bit as you're getting acquainted, but it does depend, I guess, on your personal experience in these types of games and all that good stuff. What else? Kite Shield of Cold Resistance. Probably don't need that, right? We already have 2 pips. We could go up to 3, but yeah. Yeah, you get used to death very quickly. Hey, that's the spirit. At least you're fully in the swing of things already. Because even as somebody who has far too many hours in this game, I still constantly die. And usually because of stupid mistakes on my part. It's one of the beautiful parts of the game that never fully changes. And I have a whole lot of fun with it. Keeps things fresh and interesting. I've always been a fan of difficult games. For sure. Very satisfying when you finally do get the hang of them, and as much as I like to joke around about still constantly dying and whatnot, still a whole lot better now than I used to be, and can consistently get to certain parts of the game at the very least. Okay, I do have my resistance to electricity ring on. This buddy just hurts real bad. Oof. Jeez Louise. Could have made a nice, straightforward example right there of exactly what we were talking about if I'd stupidly died in that way, though, eh? Might have worked out. But alas, I'm hoping that Spook Dog here can make it through. We've made a promise to Saphid to not throw away the last and best creative name that they came up with. No, I'm sure that was, in its own right, slightly facetious. Facetious. Oh my gosh. Rain, can we stop embarrassing myself today with my speech patterns? That'd be great. That part of the game, character creation. Yeah. The most important part of the game, really. And consistently get to D1. I try my best to do so as well, even though I thought for a while that I could consistently get to D2, but our first run today kind of disproved that in its own right, didn't it? You know, I guess to be fair to myself, I got to D2, just barely. That's as far as we went, of course. Alrighty. Finally, we identify our scrolls of blinking. Oh my lord. Far too late into the game, and we only have one still, to be completely clear. Not exactly fully out of the danger zone yet. But it's getting there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Also, you gotta love this fight, just up against a whole lot of negative energy, but as we all know, ghouls do not let nothing bring them down. It's nothing a bit of positive energy from our side can't completely counter. Because that's, of course, it's not the undeath or anything that gives us resistance to negative energy as a ghoul. Everyone knows that it is, in fact, just their sheer positive energy. Huh. Another Unrandart giant club. This one has speed, and it's probably a spiked one, too. Oh, that'd be really fun to get. On, like, an ogre? Wistful thinking, I know. You never get it on the run that could actually use it, but would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? That's a great twist on undead. Isn't that just how everyone thinks of undead? I mean, what's to be down about? You already died once. What's the worst that could happen? I do try to put my own little positive spin on things as much as we can here, for sure. Oh gosh, invisible buddies, and I don't have that much willpower. Okay, don't banish me. Not yet, please. Exactly, so positive that they just ignore death. Ooh, getting a little caught up in my throat just thinking about how sheerly positive they are. It brings a tear to my eye and all that. Let's see, let's switch out our strength ring. Are see invisible? What are your odds of banishing us? 16. Oof. Oof, that hurts. Could I survive a trip to the abyss? Maybe, but probably not. Unfortunately, not likely. So I guess the other thing here would be to switch see invisible. Jeez, caught in my throat. See invisible for a ring of willpower. That at least brings us down to like a 1% chance to be banished. And we shouldn't have too much trouble dealing with an invisible wizard here. In fact, in my personal experiences, I think they're likely to kill themselves here. With fireball, maybe, just maybe. No, okay, not today, but that's all fine. We were able to take them out without too much trouble. We can switch right back onto the good stuff here. Ooh, immediately read the enchant armor and put that onto our gold scales. Love to see it. And we're also finally getting enough identify scrolls to round out the rest of the much needed ID game here. In fact, just getting that haste potion, huge for us. And yeah, thank you so much, Safid, for also reminding there with the willpower. This time, fortunately, it was the rare occasion where I did manage to remember myself what we had the capability to do, but it's not always the case. Let's see, 16% chance of hostile. Let's bring in a friend, shall we? I guess I don't really want to stand behind them, because the Conjurer specifically will last through, potentially, especially if they miss our Executioner. There we go, thank you, pal. Good work, Executioner, you are dismissed. And let's keep stacking up the Skull Dragon armor as much as we can. Not too bad. This is probably the last dungeon floor we explore, and then we'll head right back up to our lair. We're probably in a fairly decent spot, all things considered now, to take on the bad boys we left behind, those gosh darn death yaks that were causing us so much grief. And what the heck is waiting for us here? Ooh, a cataplebis, eh? It's actually a very interesting area. Do demons get petrified? I'm guessing most of them don't, right? Let's bring in one. Apparently we always get executioners. Cool. I mean, I'm not complaining. I think that they're quite strong. And no petrification is super solid. Perfect. Let's just let them finish off the rest of the room for us. Ah, never mind. Just most of it. Then we can work together for the final wee bit here. Teamwork does, in fact, make the dream work. It is known. So let's just keep her moving here, and that should be through one of these little treasure vaults, and we get nothing for making it. Perfect. So we have tons of extra willpower, or not willpower rather, but tons of extra piety here. So I don't mind fighting our way through. And in fact, just mentioning willpower again, maybe I stop wearing this ring. I like wearing artifacts because it makes me feel special, but I almost would rather just have the ambient willpower at all times, right? That's probably smarter, so I don't get, turn a corner and immediately get banished or something silly. Let's bring in a greater servant in advance for just this reason. Screw you, McCleb. Saw that one coming. Take a moment here to let it despawn. Also need to check my phone. Perfect. You gone? Okay, they're gone. Perfect. Let's try that again, please. Ooh, Demon. Honestly, not quite as good of a replacement. I guess if they malmutate the Tengu. Yeah. Kill the Tengu warrior, please. Everyone else, I feel fine fighting myself. Maybe. Depends on what comes up next, I guess. Let's not be so rash in our assurance here. And in fact, do I want to bring in another friend? Unfortunately, Windrakes, another quite evasive monster, even though we are slightly better off than we usually are when I fight these buddies, since I do have an inclination myself to usually go through shoals before finishing the rest of the dungeon. But still not great. I'm so happy Airstrike doesn't deal extra damage to flying units anymore. I don't have to worry about that. Cyclops should be fine. Freet should also be fine. Guess we can fight for a little bit here. Oh gosh, another gosh darn Tengu. Bane of my dang existence here. But Executioner will come in and they should clear the way for us. In fact, you go nuts, kid. Oh, apparently not. Go nuts, kid? Oh wow, that surprises me. I thought you had what it took. Well, in that case, let's maybe switch over to one Ice Blast, head back to the stairs, go down. Perfect. And then I'm totally fine just fighting you on your own. We can heal up. Let's reduce this down to a bit of a simpler calculus, if we could. Just one at a time, please and thank you. Six-headed Hydra. Okay, we had lucky rolls against the last eight-headed Hydra we fought, I guess, because I thought we could handle that. And I thought wrong. But if I could bring you friends with me, perfect. That's what we were looking for. Again, one at a time, orderly queue. That's what we want. Not too bad. Let's see what else we've left behind in this nasty chamber. Scroll blinking. This one was totally worth it. That's awesome. What's the story behind the bathroom cow emote? So yeah, a while ago, I think it was a couple of Wednesdays ago on my Wednesday stream, we were chatting and I just recently unlocked my second emote slot for sub-tier emotes. So I was asking around as to what we should make it be, and we weren't deciding on anything, but then TPD, one of my longtime viewers who I enjoy talking with here, came on and asked because their kid was in the room, and their kid noticed this lovely buddy. I guess let's go this way. That's probably better. This lovely buddy up here behind my shoulder and wanted to know what the story was behind it. So we talked about the fact that, yeah, it used to hang in a bathroom at the house that I live in here until I had a roommate at the time who did not appreciate bathroom cow staring at them. And so I took possession of said bathroom cow and have loved my life ever since because I absolutely adore the picture for whatever reason. And at the end of the stream, I think, when we were talking about the emote slot once more, it was suggested that why don't we put bathroom cow in? And I thought it was an absolutely fantastic idea. That was the day that bathroom cow came into being. Let's take these buddies upstairs with us. Do sit down. Nice. And yeah, the funny thing is I'd never thought to put a bathroom cow into an emote, even though I love them so much. And as soon as I did, I've been noticing people using it in really fun ways that I didn't originally anticipate, because I didn't realize quite how much utility it had in terms of the different expressions that it can emote. And in fact, I do want to, at some point here, try and make another bathroom cow emote that I might put into like my bit emote tiers or something, since I haven't found anything for those yet. And that is to put a little like cartoon cow sitting on the toilet to fully have the connotation of bathroom cow put out there. But for the time being, I just did a nice cutout of the picture itself, and I've really enjoyed it. I used to have an elephant painting with vivid colors, but had to get rid of it in the last move. Oh, that's too bad, but it sounds like a really sweet picture. I'm a fan of kind of... I don't even know how to describe it. My first thought was silly, and it is kind of silly, but... or goofy, I guess, maybe is the better word. But I'm definitely, yeah, a bit of a goofball myself, so I enjoy it a whole lot. And plus, after I had it up in my background here, it did come to my attention that, of course, bathroom cow does actually just have a solid green background. So I'm actually able to change this to whatever we'd like it to be. And for the longest time here, it's been Pride Cow, because I do really enjoy Pride Cow. But I believe, actually, I think I have it on here. I also have like Space Cow, but it doesn't show up as well. I need better lighting in order to make it more consistent across, but Space Cow is kind of cool too, like that. But we'll keep it with Pride Cow for now. Reminds you of Wildermyth. One of their main descriptors for characters is goofish or goofball. I love it. No, one of the little nicknames that my partner and I don't call each other them often. It's not like a full pet name or anything like that, but we have a pair of nicknames, and I'm Goofball and she's Weirdy, because I used to use the word weirdy a lot more than I do now. I like to make up weird words all the time and like add strange suffixes or change vowels in words. In fact, both of us still do that part of vocabulary manipulation, I guess. We like to have a lot of fun with just the way that words sound and changing them up. But yeah, I'm Goofball, and in fact, for one of our anniversaries, I believe, my partner carved out these rocks for me. And so I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but this is my Goofball rock. This is her Weirdy rock, and they always sit on my desk together here. I absolutely love it. Okay, I'm gonna wait for finishing layer 6. I think I'm gonna head to one of our S branches instead. In fact, we're gonna start with Snake here because immunity to poison sounds great. The ability to run away because all the Naga are slow at dragging their big old bodies behind them. Love it. So I will, in fact, should be good to handle this section. We'll see how it goes though. No, I'm, very happy to be able to have the constant reminder of some of my my partner's artwork on the desk here. Makes me happy for sure. Okie dokie. I guess, oh my gosh, what are we even training in the video game here? I'm not really paying attention, am I? Could stop training armor for a bit. Invocations, it's getting there, but not quite yet. We are still training throwing, and it's at a better spot now. But that's what made me realize it, is switching off to one of our more standard throwables, because poison dart's not quite as useful. You get out of here. Did I get it? I think I got it. Might have just been this fluff of dust. I thought it was a fly, a little fruit fly, but